And it all comes crashing in and reminds me of the past. And sometimes I hear your name. Sometimes I hear your name. It reminds me of the pain. Well, I guess you read me right, 'cause I am a foolish man. But at least I understand. But at least I understand. And I've learned to live with it. Memories like grains of sand, lying helpless on the beach. But the ones you need so bad, the ones you need so bad, are the ones you cannot reach.
Well, hello, folks.
Hey everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Live. As the title sort of suggests, things are not what they may seem. I came across a interesting Twitter feed yesterday that sort of got me to thinking. Uh, oh, now the name forget escapes me. Senator Congressman Allison introduced the private members bill into the House yesterday, and it was to do with stopping when you read that. Oh, there it is, Bill. See Dean Allison, and it's just to introduce a bill where the governments won't be able to mandate travel restrictions for trains, planes, and buses. And I don't know if you can scroll down to some of the comments on that, Robert. And on the face of it, it really looked like a really good thing. But then when you dig a little bit further, it's only they won't be allowed to introduce mandates for COVID-19. Everything it all references COVID. It all references COVID-19, so they won't be able to mandate that you have a COVID-19 vaccine. And everybody's praising this bill until I started mentioning that this doesn't cover the next vaccine or the next pandemic that we all know is going to happen. So in the description, I have a link to into the description of this video. I have links. I have his Twitter account, and then I have the link to his page, his government website, for his email and his phone number. And now we must hit this guy up and tell him that he needs to broaden the bill so that it just doesn't say COVID-19, that it's for any new vaccines that happen or pandemic that happens to come in, because this bill is a nothing bill. And we need to get this bill 278 amended to cover the next pandemic, or we're just going to be in the same place we were 2 years ago. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to bring up right away, because that just popped up yesterday. So
You want me to go ahead and play that now, Brian?
yeah.
The short name of the bill is an act to prevent the imposition by the federal government of vaccine mandates for employment and travel, or simply Prevention of Government-Imposed Vaccination Mandates Act. Like I said earlier, this bill is incredibly important to my constituents and more than 6 million Canadians across the country, more than actually voted for this government in 2021.
Can you stop it there? And just go back, because we're just scroll that back again.
Across the country, more than actually voted for this government in 2021. Like I said earlier, this bill is incredibly important to my constituents.
Is that the part you want?
No, go back to the beginning.
Travel, or simply Prevention of Government-Imposed. The short name of the bill is an act to prevent the imposition by the federal government of vaccine mandates for employment and travel. Simply,
Okay, stop it there.
government
Vaccine mandates, which would lead you to believe that it's all vaccine mandates. But we'll bring up the bill here after this is done, and we'll run through that with everybody. Go ahead.
Well, the thing I find kind of telling on this, Brian, is that he insinuates that it's across the board, when in reality it is not.
Yeah.
The way he words that, it makes it sound like they're talking about anything and everything, just the mandates and all that stuff themselves, as a generic thing.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the same fact. Same point.
So,
It's quite deviant.
you want me to bring up that other one now, Brian? The bill?
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 sec.
And that's what I'm trying to get at is you can't take anything on face value, no matter what side of the fence you're on. It's really, really frustrating to have to double check everything, but it's now a fact of life.
It's nefarious, is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, any particular part you're looking at?
Yeah, so just scroll down, keep going down, and you can actually see we're getting into the amendments now. Short title. So, there we go. That just stopped there. So this is what they add. They want to add into bill. Do not include to require as a term.
You want me to read it, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
All right, it says subsection A.1, do not include the power to require as a term or condition of employment in the federal public administration that a person receive a vaccine against the coronavirus disease 2019, aka COVID-19, or to provide for the termination of an employee, or for the suspension or a reduction in their pay solely on the ground that they have not received a vaccine against COVID-19.
Yeah.
So it's specifically to that, not to any other thing.
Exactly.
So if it's a vaccine for the Bagumba disease or hey, your head's going to fall off disease, then that's going to be okay then, huh?
That's what I'm reading. And the next one's the labor code.
And that one says no regulation may be made under this part that requires as a term or condition of employment in or in connection with the operation of a federal work. Why do I say federal workers though? Undertaking or business that a person receive a vaccine against the coronavirus 2019 COVID-19.
Yeah.
I notice how they keep sliding in the federal worker.
I believe because legally because they're government workers, they belong to the government. I think legally, now I'm not sure, but because it's not in the bill, they have no right to mandate any other industry.
Okay. Well, that wording just seems a little strange to me, but all right.
Yeah. Then we get into the aeronautics. It's addressing all the federal regulated industries in Canada.
So you got aeronautics, railway,
Yeah,
Canada shipping.
yeah, and it's all specifically referencing COVID-19.
So it says no regulation made under this section to prevent the introduction or spread of the coronavirus disease 2019 may prohibit or have effect of prohibiting a person from boarding a vessel on the sole grounds that they have not received a vaccine against the disease.
Yeah,
And I'm assuming that's a big assumption that that's across the board, but it's still specific to just that. It doesn't say in general any mandates at all. It's just specific to Corona.
that's right. And of course, the air travel, railway, federal workers are all regulated by the government.
Yep.
Where other industries aren't. So it's a very misleading bill, and there's a link to in the description to actually the Twitter thread, and if you go read through the comments, everybody, all the Freedom family are all pro this bill, but it really does nothing. I mean, COVID-19 is definitely on its way out, but it does nothing. Like I say, it does nothing to stop the next round of whatever might the pandemic be.
How you doing, Ossie? Ossie, good to see you. I'm going to tell you, we're all old here. Believe me. None of us are spring chickens.
Yeah.
How you doing, Gary? Good to see you. So essentially what this boils down to, when he makes his speech, he insinuates that it's the mandates. And in a roundabout way, it kind of is, but in truth, it isn't. It isn't. It's just specific to this, to the coronavirus. It's not specific to mandates.
It's so not.
What he's insinuating he's doing is not what he's doing.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you want to just put that video back up and just let it play straight through.
Sure.
And there's ask the question, would you from that you would think it would be any vaccine, but
wrong one. 1 second. And boom. Oh, shit. Forget I can't do that first. Bear with me, folks. Sorry about this. All right, when you listen to this, and this isn't, I will say this is not unique to just Canada.
it is not.
Everywhere are doing this shit.
The short name of the bill is an act to prevent the imposition by the federal government of vaccine mandates for employment and travel, or simply Prevention of Government-Imposed Vaccination Mandates Act. Like I said earlier, this bill is incredibly important to my constituents and more than 6 million Canadians across the country, more than actually voted for this government in 2021.
Okay, now, even here on the screen, if you see, it says Prevention of Government-Imposed Vaccination Mandates Act. Now, that implies that you would assume any and all
Yeah.
That is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. That is not the case. Kind of like when they did here when they called the whole Patriot Act. Yeah, that's Patriot my ass.
Yeah.
So these are the things that folks, you really need to be kind of wary of when your politicians are telling you one thing, but when all in reality, it isn't what they're doing. And as I said, it isn't just unique to Canada.
No, but it's a prime example of how both sides of the government can be misleading.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I suggest that you spread that out. Let people know where they can get a hold of this Dean Allison. They can go to the description. He's easy to find, and start getting on him to have this bill broadened so that it includes all vaccines, upcoming vaccines.
Yeah, Rick, it would seem that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing is we need to be aware of how they use naming conventions, like the whole Mandates Act, Prevention Act, when in all actuality, the only thing it's preventing is what's already been done, truthfully.
Yeah.
The other thing is, as I said, people believe it's not a unique thing to just this. There's all kinds of this going on in many, many different countries at the moment.
Yeah.
I actually seen some of the things going on down in Dan's country today, but I can't repeat them here. Well, it isn't another big nothing, Miss T. It gives people a false sense idea that they're actually doing something when all in reality they aren't.
No,
I think that's what she meant by it's another big nothing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely just to make him look good. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, another voter gaining strategy, right?
Pardon,
For people
Dan?
who another voter gathering strategy. That's
Well,
all
yeah,
it is
but how many
people
people
that
actually
don't
take
pay
and go
attention.
and look at the information? That's why it's so important that you just don't listen to what they say, that you actually go and read the stuff that they're talking about.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't tell you how many layers deep me and Brian spent going through the WHO stuff, offshoot after offshoot after offshoot.
It's crazy.
And believe me, they bury stuff as deeply as they can if they don't want you to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just another. It just you really have to go if you're gonna pay attention to the headlines. Go into the articles. Go into the links in the articles. That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to come to some kind of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that there's going to be lots of that stuff happening in many different levels in many different countries, based on not just the idea behind the mandates, but the idea about the whole digital passport thing that seems like they're hell bent for leather to get it rammed through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, you know, that's the reason why you got to be vigilant and stuff. You can't just take what we see and hear for granted. Just because they
Well,
say it doesn't mean it's true.
well, that's why I'm putting links in the description so people I don't want people to trust what I'm saying. I
They go
want
read
them
it.
to go and read it themselves. Even though, you know, we put the bill, the amendments to C-278, but it's easy to throw something else up there. It's easy to make these documents up. At least go have a look at the document so that that you can be 100% sure that what you're being told is the truth.
Mm. And this exact strategy has been used, like Robert also mentioned, in other countries, even here. They make amendments all the time, and initially the bill is titled one way, and various reasons are given for the amendments, but most people don't read into them, and then by the time they realise the ramifications of these amendments, we've lost certain cyber abilities or certain whatever.
Well, we've all
It's
seen it. That's the thing. We've all seen it.
yeah. So
It's
just
just
please read and dig into things.
I don't. I wish I could go live in the morning, but unfortunately, I can't guarantee that because I do have a full-time job.
okay. Shall I pull up that other one, Brian?
Yeah, do that. So this is I think it's a member of parliament in the British, over in the UK, if memory serves me correct. So Robert's going to react to this because he hasn't seen this yet. Yeah, this is the one.
Oh, gee, thanks, guy.
This is going to be fun. Watch this, guys.
Uh huh.
I
Feel
am
free to stop
profoundly
there.
sorry for the impact that had. I'm profoundly sorry for each death that has occurred. And I also understand why, for some, it will be hard to take that apology from me. I understand that. I get it. But it is honest and heartfelt. And I'm not very good at talking about my emotions and how I feel. But that is honest and true. And all I can do is ensure that this inquiry gets to the bottom of it and that for the future we learn the right lessons so that we stop a pandemic in its tracks much, much earlier, and that we have the systems in place ready to do that, because I'm worried that they're being dismantled as we speak.
Well, we'll come to that.
What this guy is referring to? What exactly?
Quicker lockdowns, more mandates.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I kid you not. They
Really?
didn't do enough last time.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay, I'll reserve thoughts on that idiot. Fighting tears back. UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who led the use of terror to enforce lockdowns, says he's profoundly sorry for each COVID death and hopes lockdowns will be much earlier and more stringent during the next pandemic. Yeah, okay. Go handcuff yourself to a frickin' tree somewhere in the middle of the woods. That'd satisfy me just fine. Oh. Where do they find these? How do these people get into office? That's what I want to know.
Well, we're gonna see how Toronto just elected a very progressive mayor. We're
Yeah,
going
I
to
heard. Oh man.
we're we're going to see how well that goes.
Yeah, isn't that they bandied about the first Chinese immigrant mayor?
Yeah.
Oh, which wouldn't bother me at all. It isn't the fact that they're a Chinese immigrant. It's the fact that this particular person still carries a lot of the beliefs and underpinning ideas about how society should work from her homeland. I mean, talk about yeah, I just begging for your own chains. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what the fence you're on. I don't understand what makes people think that that's the way to go.
I really don't understand it.
That's just crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It reminds me that I was watching a quote unquote news piece. Well, I was watching someone's news about a news piece. And literally, the originator of the said news piece made claims about things going on in the lawsuit with Trump. And that he said certain things and all this stuff about these documents or whatever. And turn around to find out the whole thing was fabricated.
Yeah.
But yet, they can still publish that as news, even though it's fabricated. It's no wonder that even through, well, look at the guy we're talking about here in the beginning. Granted, at face value, the guy is supposed to be of like mind on what we're talking about when it comes to the mandates and all that stuff. But yet, in all reality, he really is not. So not only do we have the shall we say, the opposition that we have to take and fact check and make sure that what they're saying is actually truthful, which many times it is not. We have to do it to the very people we're supposed to trust.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
it's yeah, it's I don't understand it. Um, it's 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 and then just looking at the reaction that I looked at on Twitter from when they announced it there, the people, the comments were just thank God and
Oh yeah,
you
I'm
know,
sure.
support all this.
Well,
And
it's nothing more than another distraction from not getting to the actual problems that need to
yeah,
be addressed.
you know, it's you know, they they dangle, it's like they're dangling a carrot in front of you and hope that nobody goes and finds out what's really going on.
Well, and is this guy doing this by design?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but
No.
same token, if he was my representative, I'd have some choice words with him and saying, what exactly is this supposed to do?
Yeah.
That's just, I forget the word for it.
Yeah.
There's a word for what he's doing. I can't remember what it is. Is it malice or just sheer ignorance?
I would hope I would hope that it's neither, but to be in an elected position like that and present it the way it's presented, you know, I would hope that he's not. In one way, I hope I know what he's doing, but in the other sense, I hope he I hope he doesn't know what he's doing. But
Well,
neither one
the
neither
question
one is good.
the question would be, are you going to change this bill so that it supports any and all mandates, no matter what the reasoning is?
Yeah,
Or are you sticking specific to COVID and that's your aim?
yeah,
Because if that's the case, then you need to change the name of your bill because it's misinformative.
yeah.
It isn't what the bill states. Hence, like I said, when they passed the Patriot Act here, call it the Patriot Act. I've been waiting for a bill to come out and say we buy little kids lollipops act. Of course, we know what that would be.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd have more people dancing around with their shirts off in the White House lawn.
Yeah.
There you go.
It really it really angers me when I look at the stuff and find it's misleading.
Yes.
You know, and I'm sure everybody knows in Canada that of course July 1st is Canada Day, and our illustrious PM is hitting us with another carbon tax on July 1st. What a way to celebrate!
All right, you have a good one, Steve.
Good to see you, Steve.
Yeah, it's it's very frustrating. So my day tomorrow will be trying to get on the phone with Dean Allison.
Right. That's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah. You know, what exactly is he trying to do?
Mm.
Yeah. So that's that. That'll be my fight for tomorrow. And I hope everybody goes, emails them, go into his social media accounts, ask questions in the social media accounts, and see what can happen. Get the spread it out there and have people. We can't be afraid to reach out to MPs. Like in a normal situation, he's not my MP, but because he introduced this bill, that'll give me, as not one of his constituents, access to him. So, do I fear repercussions for speaking out? Not as much as I fear what's coming.
No. No, I don't think many understand the ramifications of what's coming.
No, they don't.
You know, in Australia now they're ramping up for the digital ID.
Yes, same as here. It's yeah, well, not good. Not good at all.
And thanks to Timmer for getting out there every week, the 75th trip to Victoria.
Yeah, Timber's the man. He's doing the work.
Yeah. I know things have been small in Victoria, but what it does is it keeps the infrastructure for protesting in place. And don't have to start from nothing again. But like I say, if we can get enough people to contact our local MPs and start with your MPPs, member of provincial parliaments or whatever it is in the US, they will have to take notice. But for most, I mean, I actually emailed every member of parliament, and of course, in order to go any further than when I went, they wanted my address, and because they represent their constituents.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't do a lot of good. Well, does it do any good if they get emails coming in with in the subject, what the subject is? They may not respond, but they will know that people are doing it.
Yep.
But your member of parliament will need to, if they send back, well, give me your address or whatever, do that, and that way you have a bigger voice, and they know you're serious.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the member of parliament office didn't disagree with one of the things that I said, but they have no solutions. Well, you know what? If instead of just one person, there was 10,000 people that wrote the MP, they would have to find a solution.
You know, it's as we've always said, keep rattling their cages.
Yeah.
At this point, that's the one of the few peaceful things we have left yet to do is to rattle their cage through phones, emails, in person if you're allowed to do it. Which seems to be getting to more and more hard to do.
Yeah.
I know getting them many times now to take a phone call is near next to impossible.
Yeah.
Or you'll get the whole, I'll call you back, leave your number. Sure they do.
Yeah.
But I guess, does anybody else have anything to add or insights?
No, not at the moment.
Everything was covered really well with Brian's comments and statements. Just do what you can. Talk to some real people. Talk to some real MPs, and actually go to offices, go to places, have conversations. All things we've said before. And read.
Yeah, don't believe what they say. Read what they're doing.
Yeah.
So on that note, folks, I'll say thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Have a great day. Be
Everybody,
well.
I will be filling people in the future as to how things are going to go. I'm sure most people are aware of what has happened.
I'm not sure if they are.
Oh, well, yours truly has been banned from YouTube. In no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see what happens as going forward. I have yet to file an appeal on it, but I don't hold much hope for that.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know. Surprising things do happen at times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and that's just not that they didn't just take his channel down.
No, they actually took me down. And just so everybody knows, that was a channel that was almost 20 years old. So,
yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. Check the links in the description, and please start getting a hold of these people. Share those links out, and because this is really the only way. Well, hopefully this is a way to bring things back to the control of the citizens and not the government.
well, all of us we've grown accustomed for many years of assuming that our politicians were doing the right things.
Yeah.
And they've used people's shall we say, distractions to put us where we are. We have to be more active in our governance. It's the only way that we're going to take this back and turn it around. Everybody has to be involved. If you're not involved, then you're allowing somebody else to decide for you.
Yeah.
Whether you take action or not, you're involved. So you might as well take action.
Yep, we all got to live on this rock.
Because the alternative is not very good.
No, and there's a certain faction that seem to want an alternative that, shall we say, has a China-style governance rule. So, anyways, folks, we're going to be out of here. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Canada, glad you're still doing these and hanging in there. Dan, good to see you. Glad you're still hanging in here.
Still hanging in, still reading, doing a lot more stuff in the background than in the real world these days, but always appreciative of the information that filters through via Brian and Robert. Some of it is hard to keep up with because there's so much that we're always reading and looking at. Everything goes everywhere, so you've got to be able to speed read pretty much, or else you're screwed.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, most governments are following the same playbook. If it's happening in one country, it's likely going to be happening in yours at some point in time, if it isn't already.
It is.
Exactly. It is definitely happening at this point in time, right now.
So,
and
we're definitely not. I'm not done. Let's put it this way. There's still a lot of things I'm going to keep diving into when it comes to this stuff. Just this week's kind of caught me a little off guard, folks. So, all right. Anyways, thanks everybody, and we'll be out of here in 3, 2, or 1. We'll talk to you later.